who's been asking after my well-being, that I am now released from police detention in Nigeria. And I just want one of you to know that. And I also want to appreciate everyone for all the great work that you've done in ensuring that I am a free man today. Very powerfully, you all stood up wherever you are, all over the world, online, offline, in flesh and in spirit, and you let the Nigerian authorities know that we're not playing at all. And I mean it. When I say we're not playing, it is how we have designed this from the beginning. I think once in a while, they like to do this. They want to test to see if we are who we claim we are. And when they get that, they just can't wait. And one of the issues cropped up in the last few days, I should explain to those who are new to this, is that I was invited by the police that there was a petition against me. Actually, multiple petitions against me at the police office in Abuja. That's their headquarters. So as is typical, I asked my lawyer, or my lawyers, the legal team that we work with, to reply to them that they should provide us the particulars of the allegations. And also that they should let us plan and come down there. So they, but then they wrote this very ludicrous, I would say ridiculous letter to us, filled with errors. They accused me of forgery and inciting disturbance, with the incite wrongly spelled. So it was something I dealt with, knowing them very well. So I wrote them back to say, well, these laws don't exist, and these allegations or the crimes don't exist. So they wrote back again and said, well, just come over. I said, no, I don't work like that. So they eventually wrote, and I consulted with my lawyers, legal team, particularly Tope Timoko, who was handling this. We have a lot of lawyers, including SCN Femi Falana, who is our lead, which was handled by Tope Timoko, who wrote these letters to them, very powerful letters, stating the conditions under which we participate. So I got to pack my bags, which I always do. I take with me toothpaste, I take soap, I take clothes, I take some running shoes, because you never know. And I call on our friends and say, we're going to the police headquarters for this invitation. By the time they saw the crowd, they quickly changed the venue of interview from the main police headquarters, which is where their illegal IGP based, who, it turns out, wrote all these petitions against me. I went to another building opposite, almost diagonal to the police headquarters. I met a team of police interviewers led by a DCP, Deputy Commissioner of Police, known as Akin Fakorede. He's a very well-known guy to those of us who cover police and police abuse issues. So it didn't take up to 2 minutes before the fight started. So he said, I said to him, please, can you provide me the petitions? He quickly said, well, I hope your lawyers told you that I'm not going to accept your nonsense or rubbish you bring here today. And I said, oh, is that what we're about today? So I quickly rolled up my sleeves and my pants, trousers, and we started digging it out. Anyways, much was not achieved. So he went and said, you have to tell us that you are willing to. I said, okay, let me see the petition. So he sent me the first petition, chosen by the IG, that from the office of the IG, that some documents were forged. They said it was a police wireless message that was forged, because I wrote panicked and posted it. I said, okay. And I was the second one. It was written by a female police officer with the PSO3 to the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, who Sahara Brothers has been reporting about her dalliances with the IGP, and a very, very terrible promotion scandal in Nigeria Police. So we quickly had a meeting. We said it's all rubbish. First, the IGP or anybody in the police force have no right to use their position to prosecute anyone, whether they like it or not. It's a poor position. And at any rate, these are not petitions. So that warrants our time and energy. So he got upset. Very quickly, he left and said, see, I know who you are. I know you're going to be very stubborn and difficult. Today, I'm here to show and teach you a big lesson. So no big deal, sir. I'm here for you as well. Well, long and short of it, we were out there fighting, and he left in anger to some officers. Came back again and said, Mr. Sowere, are you ready for the next stage? So you have to write a statement, police statement. So he brought the paper out. I asked him to write a statement. So I told him, I said, look, sir, we are waiting here. I've not written a police statement since 1992. And when I'm accused by the police of doing something that I know I've not done anything wrong, I don't bother myself. If you want to take my statement, you're already taking it because you have all these camera people there. Whatever we discuss there, go and transcribe it and file it in court. Say, oh, you have to take your statement. So I said, no, sir, I'm not writing any statement. Of course, recently I wrote a statement when they stole my glasses. But that was a different situation. So he said, if you're not writing a statement, that means you have elected, you are promised you don't want to cooperate. I'm not here to cooperate with you. I'm here to fight for what's just and right. I'm here to fight for my freedom. So he went upstairs again, came back, and said, well, you are under arrest, and I'm detaining you. So I said, sir, that's what I'm here for. I already brought my bag. Everything is ready. So that was how the whole world started getting notified about my detention by the police. That was on Wednesday. So at about 5:30 p.m., he came back again and flashed a piece of paper in front of me. He said, this is your detention order. I said, see it? He said, no, I'm not going to let you see it. But we've obtained the detention order. So I saw very far away the word magistrate and cybercrime. I said, you people are not serious. But I knew that you planned for today, so I'm not going to waste your time on mine. So we then start having the conversation about where am I going to get detained? Because I was ready. I knew that was the plan. So he said, well, the lawyers are for this, by the way. He got fought my lawyers to see anything serious. He got upset and they said they're going to put me in handcuffs, but they eventually didn't show up with any handcuffs. Just so that you know, this was all planned, and I knew about it in advance, of course, through my own sources, that they were going to detain me. So we kept going, and then when we got to, came back again and said, you still have an option. If you write your statement, we might look into it. And I said, I'm not here to write statements. There's no option. You have an option, and the option is to swallow your pride, stop disgracing yourself and the Nigeria police force, and carry your rubbish paper and everybody go home today. He said no, and then it became about bragging. And you could tell that they were prepared. It's like, oh, right, we know you. You think you are difficult. For the first time, somebody is here to teach you a lesson. Yeah, these guys don't even know who they are dealing with. So I started praying for them not to step back, because I know where we're headed, but they don't know where we're going. So, bottom line, he left and told my lawyers that they decided to detain me. And when the lawyers asked them where they're detaining me, they said it's none of their business. So they left me in that building, and when it was about 8 p.m., they came and called me from the office where I had been abandoned, and they said, "Well, we're going to detain you." I said, "Where?" They said, "Well, someone close by." So they took me to this dark, dingy, dirty, smelly detention, the smell of shit and urine. They had a mattress, and there was another guy who was there. There was no light, so I couldn't tell who he was. He had been crying. He was a POS operator who was arrested from Edo State and brought to that place. I don't know who. He said he helped someone transfer 2 million naira. So, as his characteristic, my character, I settled down and started to get used to my environment. So, but I told them I need a mosquito net, so they did allow me to get one. When it arrived, I had nowhere to put it because there was a high cell, but I was gagging on the odor, so I asked them if I could buy the towel. They let me buy it, so I just poured the towel in the bathroom that they used there, and they managed to sleep. I actually slept well, so because they're taking my phone, no distraction. So at 6 a.m., the door was open. They always rattle the door because there's a cage, and the cage handler came. Mr. Sowere, your IPO is here. I said, for what? At 6 o'clock? No, I didn't even know what time. I asked, what time is it? 6 o'clock. They said, you're going to court. So I told them, I said, call the IPO to come to the cell and tell me we're going to court. She said, the IPO doesn't come to the cell. I said, well, if someone is an IPO in a case that they put someone in the cell, if they can't go to the cell, then that's his problem. So I went back to sleep. And then next, I just saw he opened the gates to the cage, and these 8 men armed to the teeth came into one of them. The 2 of them are like all these mobile policemen. They call them Mopo, Killer and Kopo. And then there were about 6 of them in suits. And then there was this guy who had a police badge clearly around his neck, and he was backing on us. Stand up. Let's go. We're going to court. I said, what court? If I'm going to court, first you have to inform my lawyers, and secondly, you have to let me see the charges. It's like, no, don't do him. He doesn't want, and those ones are like, I didn't have any clothes on. They're like, bundle him, and I said, you're not bundling me anywhere. It's not happening. So they started to wrestle with me, fight me, and ultimately dislocated my hand. And I was like wrestling as well. It's like, you're not taking me out of here. So I wasn't backing down. About 3 of them took my top, helped me put it together, and then they put it over my head. And I managed to wear it and follow them, and then we were having an altercation. So they drove me from that scene, which was the Department of Force Intelligence, but they call it FI, the Force Intelligence Department, and drove me to the RT, which is another notorious police facility in Nigeria. And when we arrived there, it was a continuation of the fight. But interestingly, the guys who were at RT did not join him as he expected as a lead. So that they say he's the CSP, and so many of his men too did not really partake in the harassment and the assault. So he wanted to assault me personally, but I told him if you touch me, he knows the consequences. So, but he uses 2 Mopo men to carry out his nefarious activities. So by the time I got there, they just took me straight to another detention, and I sat there, and I was, and they left. So I used that opportunity to treat myself, and had someone put a bandage around my arm and treated it. So and then while I was doing that, I took pictures and sent them out so that people can see my condition. And it was while I was there that I was hearing from everywhere that there was bedlam in the whole world. Around Nigerians were upset, there were protests, and came around and started harassing everybody. how did you allow Sowere to take a picture of his arm and bandage? How did he get out? Where are his phones? They tried to harass to find, try to find my phones, and of course I didn't have any phones on me. I had no one how to do. So then after a while, they now came and took me to a cell. This cell, crazy cell. It has kidnappers, Fulani headsmen, and people who they claim committed fraud. It was a terrible cell, same stench. Anybody who's been to a Nigerian police cell, you know it is. Stench. A lot of them were sick, they were coughing. I don't know if I haven't been well ever since I left there. And they just asked me to sit there, and that was where I was turned. After a while, I come back again and say some people want to see me. So I went out to sit there, and they went and brought one doctor and said, oh, we heard that. No, before they brought the doctor, they brought somebody from the PPRO's office, but he removed his tag so that I won't know his name. He said it's a DSP. He wants to interview me about what happened. And he was pretending not to know what happened, that I should explain if I was who attacked me. I said, you're the one who sent this cell. Why are you asking me who attacked me? And quickly, as I thought, he was trying to find out who took the picture or who treated me. I said, I treated myself. So he left, and then they brought the doctor. I went to see the doctor. I told the doctor, I said, if you have sense, you will not, you won't do this. Why would you come and allow yourself to get involved in this rubbish? Because the doctor had a face mask, so I told them I'm not going to attend to it. You can't break my hand. The police can't break my hand and use police doctor to come and treat it. So the doctor left, put me back in the cell again. So I was there with all these guys, and we were just, it was just weird. He just kept looking at me like, is this Sowere? Some of them would come and apologize to me. I was like, why are you apologizing for? They said, you can't believe they brought you here. Turns out one of them was a police officer as well, and they've all been very excited about the struggle for police welfare and retirees. So that was my experience yesterday. So in the night, I got a call from one of the lawyers. Not a call, but sent a message to me that the Minister of Justice said he could release me. But I told him that it was a tactic. Because then we've heard a lot of people were planning protests in Lagos and Abuja, and the pressure was much. So I told them it was a tactic. And this morning I woke up and there's news everywhere. We're running up and down, header, scatter. I said, what's the problem? He said, there's protests everywhere. There's a problem. And now Nigerians are demanding for what happened to my hand and all that. So after a while, we came with another theater. So I was told that the media had been set up to come and visit me with some activists who are looking for me. I said I'm not interested. But they still came into the office where I sat, and some of you have watched it. So I used the opportunity to just lambast these guys. You guys have no sense. Nigeria is ruled by headless people. How could you on earth come to me and say, oh, I want to check what is wrong with you, when I am not to be in detention in the first place? Anyways, after we came with 3 fresh petitions again. As soon as that media fiasco ended in a disgraceful manner, we came with 3 fresh petitions. The Senator Sowore, we have 3 petitions for you. Would you like to read them? I respond to them. I said, are you people foolish? Are you stupid? You're supposed to be police officers. So you brought 2 petitions. You are dealing with, you can't handle it. You go and bring 3 again. I said, would you please get out of my face with your petition? So they packed their petition. Those ones were written by, I didn't even look at it, but it was some lawyers. Maybe they went, they discovered that the initial 2 petitions from the IG's office and that PSO3 won't hold water. So they must have gone to hire some lawyers to write fresh petitions against me. It didn't bother me. So when that ended, that charade ended, I got another call that the initial interrogator, like in fact, they would like to see me. And this time around, I brought camera people, so they want to interview me on camera, and they can transcribe. I said, that's fine, because any opportunity I have to lecture these people, I don't miss it. I'm their teacher, and I'm the kind of experience they need, which is their best teacher. So let's go. So we got there. He did the unthinkable. He brought out a detention order from a magistrate and said, we have an order to detain you for between now and August 19. Oh, I said, that's beautiful. So can you give me a copy? I think that's the same thing he showed me before. At the point I was almost tempted to tear it off. I was like, this didn't have any value. So my lawyer, Marshal Abubakar, and A.K. Musa at this point, we look at each other after. So I said to him, is that the other? Because the crime is a cyber crime. You know already that magistrate courts don't have jurisdiction to try cyber crime. So why did you go out and detention order from them? He said, well, it's a court order, it's valid. We're detaining. That's fine. So we start digging it out again. And then he brought out another charges. There were 5 charges against you at the Federal High Court. I said, you have a date? He said, no. I said, so you know that this is a federal case. So does it make sense that you went and obtained this Jankara 10 from somewhere in your head? You brought it to me. Anyways, we were excited about it because we knew that we'll have the weekend to plan a major onslaught and oppression in our country. And we're just looking forward to it. And then the anticlimax happened. We hit around and said, one of our lawyers said, well, since there are 5 charges and Mr. Sowere is not running away, you know it. You guys have seized his passport, he didn't run away. You have broken his hand, he's untainted. You have to let him go until you get a date for the charges. And he said, yes, okay, we are granting bail. Lo and behold, that was it. So I would reserve every other conversation that happened till another day. But it was really an anticlimax. So he granted bail and then processed it. I was not interested in any bail. I didn't offend anybody. But my younger brother was around and said, it's a formality. So I can't sign it. And that's how I got out. But I didn't just get out because they wanted me to get out. I got out because all of you worked very hard, relentlessly, and I decided to have this broadcast tonight to just appreciate all of you. All of you. It's very difficult to have a list of people to appreciate on a day like this. It's very difficult. If you end up mentioning one person and the other person, you didn't know how much they did. But I want to appreciate everyone, especially those first and foremost in the legal team. They did fantastic. I mean, it is unbelievable amount of legal firework that got us here. And in that regard, I'll give it to Femi Falana, SAN, who is our lead, Temitope Temoko, who couldn't make it, and I'm sure he feels very bad about the fact that he's not on ground. Marshal Abubakar was actually the one who was physically removed from the interrogation room. A.K. Musa, Rosemary Hamza, the other barrister Hamza as well, who visited in detention, Barrister Keita, Alexander Keita, all of them every day worked very hard. And some of the ones that I didn't get to know or see who were filing cases, Barrister DG, Adeyanju, of course, did everything he could. He tweeting, he was helping with legal drafting, trying to get, because we eventually did file a fundamental rights enforcement lawsuit against them. But you know how it is, we couldn't get a date before release me today, but we'll pursue that still because it's a matter of rights that these guys don't get away with violating our right. So in the next set of people, I can't stop appreciating all those great revolutionaries of our ilk who were out every day protesting against the Nigerian government, protesting in front of the Nigeria police force. Some of them were even injured in Abuja. I think police tear gassed them today. The protesters in Lagos, the protesters in Ibadan, and several other jurisdictions across the country. And I want to use that opportunity to let you now understand, for those of you who are still in doubt, that we can make this thing happen. The revolution that I've been telling you about can happen. And it can happen from anywhere. For those of you who are abroad, you can make a revolution happen whether you are here or not. For those of you who are at home, you can make it happen. In fact, if you're abroad and you want to get a revolution happen, you can come to Nigeria, just as I have done. Big deal abroad. If you have this country working, you will be sending money to people abroad if Nigeria is working. But the reverse is the case. And there's nothing wrong with traveling abroad, but it should not be a career that you travel abroad, and that's all. So, and one of the things I told the policemen, a lot of them that I met, including even the one that broke my hand, is that, see, you are all set up to work against your own interests. Look, we just fought for retired policemen and serving policemen recently, and you are the one they're using. If you want to break somebody's arm, you know your oppressed ones. Go and twist their hands. But that's where a lot of education and conscientization still needs to happen. But I'm very glad that I can report today that we're getting there. Unbelievably, I saw policemen who were cursing their bosses out in front of them while I was in detention at IRT. They were speaking freely and openly, and they said, anything people want to do to us, do to us. Can't treat you well like this. That tells us that imminent revolution is building momentum through solidarity. And that's why we fought for police the other time. And we can all end the unjust and fair and oppressive system, all by just sheer courage, raw courage. And that's what I've always said to people. That's why I apply courage instead of caution in dealing with oppression. So it is very, very important that I also thank several other persons, politicians. I want to use today to forgive some of my friends that I always criticize, because I saw that they all came out. People like Abubakar Atiku, I saw he issued a statement. This is not a sign that tomorrow I won't be after them. I'm just thanking them based on what they did, which I think was good. I saw that Peter issued a statement. So general unity across board. People didn't discriminate because I wasn't their favorite politician. Yes, I'm not going to join a coalition, but I believe in the unity of the oppressed. I saw, like mentioned, Price Strategy did a lot of social media work. I saw Very Dark Man, the video was shown to me while I was in detention. Great job. I've always felt that everybody who genuinely mean it, we can all work together to defeat oppression. That's the truth. I saw Mama P, who I never met before at the protest ground today, as a fire share. I saw all of the posting on this. The flag boy was actually with me. He was the last person standing. And today, I want you all to please help me wish Flag Boy a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. You know the guy who carries Nigerian flag around in Abuja, that's Flag Boy. People who have done a lot of calls, who made efforts on their own without my knowledge. I'm still going to get to all of you and thank you if it's possible. But before I started this broadcast, I said it that what I'm doing tonight is impossible work. It's trying to thank everybody who worked for you and to get you freed. It's an impossible, because you mention one person's name, another person will get offended. So please, if I didn't mention your name tonight, don't get offended. And if I offend you in the future, you know how it is. I'm talking about today, and that's what it is all about, which is that I appreciate all of you wherever you may be. Today, not thank my cousin in the U.S., Benson Colade Omoyeni, KBO, who was running around doing media for the U.S. for me. I want to also particularly thank my wife once again and kids. They go through a lot. I've spoken to them this night. and they're strong. But you know how it is. I really appreciate them. I appreciate our family members, my brothers and sisters, all of them. Akin Sowere was the person who signed my bail bond today. So all of them, I thank you so much for all your efforts. The Nigerians all over the world, my friends abroad and at home, who have done a lot. So part of the reason why this is not some kind of Thanksgiving event is because the struggle continues. This is just like when I left detention today, if you see my Facebook broadcast, I just said, well, we're going to work, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I want to thank everybody. I still have this to deal with next few days, and I'm going to try and take care of myself. And I hope you guys take good care of yourselves and continue to work. It's just like always the beginning. Every opportunity we have, it's an opportunity to show that we can do better than we used to. And one of the things I post on my Facebook page is to look, I know how the oppressors work. Once in a while, they want to test our will to be sure that we are the people we claim to be. So, thank you. Have a good night. Continue victorious.